great. It's a wonderful week. I feel like I'm already halfway through it, but here we are. It's Monday night. I worked yesterday. That's why I'm saying that. And only have 2 more work days. Yes, I'm a little bit excited. Anyway, happy Monday. It is June the 8th. Hello, I am Brenda Sellers here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Thank you for watching. I hope you have had a wonderful weekend. I felt like um, I did a lot. Saturday, I rested a little bit, and then if you saw my post on Facebook Friday, you know that I had some dental work. Trying to hide it. But if you look close, you can see it, and that's why I'm trying to kind of cover it up. Let me fix this so I can see. What is it doing? This way. There we go. Hi, Carol. Hope you're doing good. All right. So tonight, we're gonna play with Silly Old Bear. And we're going to play with the embossing folder because I've not done that yet. And if you can see, our chart is getting a little bit more colorful. But I'm also hopefully, I guess the right word is optimistic. I'm not sure I spelled it right. Anyway, we'll see how close. It's getting closer. If also I posted on my Facebook page, I've not sent the email yet, but there are other ways to support too. I posted that our team would be doing, we will have a team gathering and we will assemble kits. So we're going to support the let me stop talking for a second. Ronald McDonald House. That house, a long time ago, Stampin' Up! Supported them with a sale of a specific stamp set. And that was, I remember that being in a lot of the catalogs. So I thought, that's a great way and a place to sponsor because I know that last year, 2 years ago, the Ronald McDonald House supported my cousin's son and his family when his baby was in the hospital in another state. So there's one here in Knoxville. So we're going to donate finished cards and 1 or 2 kits for the families to do when they're there and they can't be at the hospital with their children. The other place that we're going to donate finished cards, and I called them and talked with them and asked if it was all right, is our Ben Ashley retirement place for veterans. I feel that if they're there, they've done so much to support our country, and I didn't have to go and be in. My husband was in the Army, feels like many years ago. We were not married yet, but we're going to donate some finished cards. So for this promotion, I'm doing 50 kits. If you want to sponsor one of the kits, it's $20. I have a link that I'll add to this YouTube comment section too. So there's that. That's the 2 things I wanted to talk about tonight. So I'm hoping that we can do some thank you cards, some birthday cards. I talked with the really nice guy at the veterans home, and he said that they could use the cards because, you know, they can't always go and get something, but some people still like to give the paper hugs. So we're going to do that. And with that, let me clean the desk off a little bit and grab some paper and let's get started. So, and every kit you support or sponsor is helping that orange crawl down the and over to the next column. Y'all, I can't believe I only have 2 more columns. It's getting close. All right, let me share the screen. And that means have to watch the captions. Sorry. Let me grab some paper. I did not get a chance to do that. That one. All right. It's easier to bring it all over that way. All righty. Are we ready? Okay. The first one we're going to do, because it's right here on top, is a birthday card. And we're going to use exciting times so that we can use this and the happy birthday. And that's already prepped. So let's pull in our hydrangea hue. Piece of scrap. Some out of the way. This is from the Silly Old Bear set. That is Misty Moonlight, Whisper White, Hydrangea Hue. And you can lay right there. And I need more than one scrap, it looks like. We are going to go ahead and put these two guys to, not those two, these two together. Slide. Get yourself together, Brenda. Get it together. We'll see how many we make tonight. But there's one in my head that I really want to put on paper. But this one was laying over there, and it's like, let's just do it. And our ribbon is over here too. What was? Oh, it's under the stamp. Okay. Go ahead and put this around, no bows. I'm just going to cut it long enough. Hey, Laurie, you probably remember this card, but I promise I'm making some new ones tonight too. Add a little bit of adhesive right here. Next week will probably also be the Silly Old Bear, because I need to do it ahead of time because I won't be home. I may or may not be home. I'm not sure, but I will have a video ready for us. My desk is a mess. Like you start out with so much clean space and then you wind up working in a small space. Isn't that how it goes? Does that happen to anybody else? Or am I just special like that? Let's grab the Golden Glow. Where are you hiding, Mr. Golden Glow? Probably in, nope, don't need that. Ouch. What's right here? And let's stamp a couple, or at least one honey pot. Let's put it right here. And let's just stick these up here out of the way for a second. That makes it easier, gives me a little space off my desk. And then I know where to look for it. So that means we don't have a naked inside right here. That is good. All right, next I am going to stamp and then punch because I could not get it lined up the other way. So these are linen pads. So you I've been tapping and scooting and tapping again. And then put it down and hold it and say, Carol is wonderful, Laurie is wonderful. That's who I see is watching. And then it kind of allows the paper to suck in some of that ink. All right, lid back on, up here out of the way. And then, it's kind of it's put away when I get done. And let's lay that up there because it's got ink on it. And that label did not work very well, so we might have to darken it up. Squirrel. And then I put it in upside down so I can see where I've stamped. And doing it this way, I know that I'm centering it to the best of my ability instead of guesstimating when I'm trying to punch or stamp after I've punched. All right, you can go right up here, out of the way. And then we need our hydrangea hue again. And we're going to use the sentiment out of Exciting Times. Happy birthday to you. Thank you to those who have already sponsored kits. I ordered a couple and they are on the way. Well, I think they're on the way. All right, so this is going to go on dimensionals. And I have some here. A little cup to make it easy to. It's like it kind of hangs over. It does. Peel it off. Mash them down. That way they've got a good stick to them. Stick these little guys right here in my cup. Thank you, Carol. I always think of her every time I use that little cup. And then we're not done, but let's go ahead and stick this on the card. This can go over here out of the way. These can go right here so I won't forget them. All right, we are going to stamp our little bear in Secret Sea, one of my most favorite colors. And I'm going to stamp him right there. Carol is wonderful. Laurie is wonderful. I don't know who number 4 is watching. Let's see. Could it be Jeannie? Could it be our friend from Ohio? Um, it could be any number of people that are watching. All right, I'm going to grab the colors and let's color. Where did I put those? Ah, they're put away. Imagine that. All right, we are using Golden Glow for Mr. Pooh, and I'm going to make the little pot be cantaloupe crisp. I start with the darker color and I shade where the little lines are in the stamp. And I'm going to add a little bit of extra to the back of his arm and down the back because I just feel like that's where the sun hits, or doesn't hit, rather. A little bit on that paw, a little bit going there, nose. Okay. Got up because I thought they were over there and they're right here where they're supposed to be. Imagine that. All right, and then this, when I have a larger space, I lay the blender brush or blender pen marker on its side and never ever straight down on that tip. And then I just lightly let it touch the paper and fill in those spaces. And then I'm going to put a little bit of light right here because that's the honey coming out of the pot. And I'm not going to color in that pot because it would wash it away. How many of you are getting rain right now? It has rained here a little bit, but not horrible. Apparently it rained really bad downtown. I'm going to color the pot dark with the bullet tip because there's just a little space there. And then I'm going to color the label lighter and grab our die. And I didn't bring that machine over. I brought the big machine, but not the little plates, the plates that go with it. So here's this little one. My camera is doing that autofocus thing and it's driving me bananas. I think that they might have done some update and I need to go in and fix the auto adjustment or the autofocus. Because if it makes me bonkers, I hope it's not making you bonkers. This is a really quick way to cut out your images. There we go. Always return it to the magnetic sheet. Otherwise, those little ones are way too easy to lose. All right, he is going to sit on the card about right there. So I know I want my dimensionals on along that side. And let's put one over here. And on the feet. And now he's saying happy birthday. And let's grab our glimmer shimmer and do right on the honey. Hope you can see that. Well, ain't that cute? Yes, it is cute, if I do say so myself. All right, now let's add a little bit of shimmer to the top of the pot. Can you see it? It's sparkly for you. All right, there's that card. Oh, we've got to put some bling on it. It's laying right here. Here's a blue. And it didn't want to come off. Or it did, but it didn't want to stick on my finger. And then let's get two more blues. Put one here and here. Always in threes. All right, there's that card. Next one. Gosh, there's so many I want to do. So many. Let's see what paper I've got right here. We're going to play with this. And this is pecan pie, 8.5, 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Lay that to the side. We're going to emboss that. And I have the embossing folder here. Had to bring the big guy over because the embossing folder is large. This is a 3D embossing folder. It's super thick. So put your piece of paper where you want it. I want this is a directional embossing folder. Can you see the design on it? That's the forest, the 100-acre woods. So I want this part of it right here, and I want it portrait. So I'm going to put it right here. And you always put your embossing folder through your machine hinge first. Pay attention to your layers on your big plate. So using a 3D embossing folder, we follow this sandwich. So we need one, which is this thicker one, and number 4. So number 1 goes down, you put your folder on with your paper in it, hinge first, and then number 4, and run it through. And then set that stuff back over to the side. Isn't that pretty? You see the design on that? You could grab your white and you could do some emboss your blender brush on top of it if you wanted to. But we're not going to. We're just going to put him on our paper or on our card front. Making sure he's the correct side up. And then we're going to see what else we got over here. I feel like we got quite a bit of stuff. Do do that little dude, little eaglet. And let's see what color that is that coordinates with that. In your designer series paper on the white backer board, it tells you it has Barely Blush, Basic Black, Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Golden Glow, Hydrangea Hue, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Timid Tiger, and Berry Vanilla. We're going to get Cherry Cobbler. And we're going to get the other embossing folder, die cuts. That's the stamps. Where's the dies? We lay it on the table. All right, cherry cobbler and the dies. So we know we need that for the inside. Let's trim this a little bit. We're going to use this one. It's going to be so. We need a piece that's about 3 1/4. We're going to give it a smidge more. So we don't have to worry about it. And it will run through the baby one since I have those cutting plates over here. I love my Boho Blue baby embossing machine. The only ones that they currently still have for sale are the white ones. Some people have good luck with the white, some of our friends don't. You just have to figure out the sandwich and making sure that you get it to go through the plate right. Which die cut machine did I used? The bigger one with the embossing folder, I used the large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Hi, Jeannie. And this one is the baby Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It was a special promotion, and then we could get them as well at Demonstrator. That is Boho Blue, which is a retired color, but kind of almost looks like Hydrangea Hue. No, it's duller or more dim, not dull. I still love it. Matter of fact, I love it so much, it went to Florida with me recently. I've got a bin over there that I'm tossing this stuff in and I'll put it away. Finished with me. All right, let's layer this right here. Isn't that so pretty? I could have used Mossy Meadow too, but I picked out the color in the door. Thanks for watching, Rachel. Thanks for asking good questions. The large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I think, is 140. The little guy, he's white now. They've always had a white one to match your big one. Is, if I remember correctly, $60. Some of our embossing folders will not fit through the little one. You just saw, about 3.5. Actually, it was less than 3.5. It was 3 3/8 is probably the biggest I would try to put through there. Otherwise, it's going to bend your cardstock on each side. Y'all, that hold it up, promise. Smash them down. There we go. Bring the cup in. Blue is your favorite color. Blue is one of blues, greens, and purples. For those of you that haven't been around me, but only online, we've been remodeling our house for a long, long time. And we are getting super close to having it done. Kitchen is next. We've got about 2.5 walls plus the kitchen to finish in the main part of the house. So yesterday, we better make sure Piglet is not standing on his head. We hung some curtains and they were blue. I like that. I think it's okay. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Let's grab our Golden Glow and our honey pot because I just like the honey pot as a little accent on the inside. But hubby helped me hang curtains. He hung the curtain rods and a couple of the curtains yesterday, and then I had to order more curtains. First time on a live video. Well, thank you for watching, Rachel. I appreciate it. Hope I'm not boring you. This one, Laurie and Jeannie, I used the parts and pieces from another card and went rogue. Went rogue. And now let's add some Golden Glow. And we got some big ones over here that didn't get used. One, two, and a baby one. Come off my finger. There we go. Golly, those really do look like honey now. How about that? All right, and there's one I have been dying to play with. So I have a piece of hydrangea hue. When I get ready to make cards for myself, and I'm grabbing a big piece of cardstock, the 8.5 by 11, I score it first at 4.25. So park the dark because the dark is the cutting blade. So let's score it at 4.25. Back through here, cut it at 5.5. So it can come back down. I always put it at the top of my trimmer because that gives me more of a straight surface against it. And I push up and that keeps it pushed against that straight surface so it doesn't go sidewoggle. I don't know that sidewoggle is a good word, but it worked for me at that point. All right, now what pieces and parts and things and joys do we have over here? We got to get some paper. Let's get had some more blue. With hydrangea hue, as it's better known. Nope, let's get one. All right, I went ahead and cut part of that while I was over there. So let's see if we can make this one come to life like I want it to. This one we're going to emboss. This one we're going to cut. This is going to be stamped on. All right, let's emboss first. Big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We're going to emboss the 100-acre forest. Let's do a different side of the trees. Let's do over here, kind of in the middle. I remember hinge first. And our gray plate. Hey, Tracy from Ohio. It would help if you put both doors down. Some parts are falling out over here. Those are pretty. Can you see the embossing design on there? 100-acre woods. I did not. Some people say that you should spray water on it before you emboss it. I have never done that, and it's worked just fine for me. Let's fold this little dude. It's going to go right here. I love tone on tone. I haven't decided if I'm going to use ribbon yet or not. We're going to use our same die shape. And since I don't have my big die cutting plates over here for the big machine, the little one gets to come back up and play. And this one. Through. Some of my friends have an electric die cutting machine now, and they love it. Makes me just a tad jealous. But Carol, again, I haven't had any issues with my cardstock taking the embossing design. And try it and see. And now I know that I want to cut the smaller one white. I think probably with maybe some of the more intricate designs on a piece of art or a embossing folder, you might to get it to be more distinct. But you guys, I'm playing with Eeyore on this one because I haven't stamped Eeyore. I haven't even stamped Piglet. Oh goodness. Hope they're not feeling lonely. But we're gonna stamp on this up here, and I need another piece of white. That's gonna go on this. I know it's not too drastic of a difference. All right, now where's my stamps? We're gonna stamp Eeyore and this poo. I've used that one. So I have stamp piglets. So come on, Eeyore. There's Mr. Owl. Where's my big poo? I think he's laying on the table over there. Just a moment. Nope, he's right here. Block. When you pull your photopolymer stamps off of that plastic, put them on a piece of cardstock to let them kind of relax back into their desired shape. This one I haven't stamped with, so I'm going to rub it on my palm. That just gets some of that silicone off of that caused it to release from the mold when they made it. Here's our poo. Stamp Eeyore. All of my friends watching are wonderful. Y'all, you're making my heart happy. I see all of those numbers of people watching. Oh, thank you. If you like what you see, feel free to support the channel by liking and subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on Facebook. And if you want to know what's happening in my world of Stampin' Up, you are welcome to subscribe to my email list. All right, let's do Pooh since we're pretty familiar with coloring Pooh. Let's do him really quick. And I will ask the question, what color is Eeyore's bow? I don't remember. Give me some colors while I'm coloring in Pooh, and I'll look up and see what you guys have come up with. And I think my husband would love it if I had a blending brush or blender pen in my hands all the time coloring, because usually my jaws stop working when I start coloring. But since I'm on video, I try to be cognizant of that and let them still talk. But if I'm coloring really intricate stuff, I am telling you, I do stop talking and it's like, oh, wait, you got friends. Talk to your friends. All right. And then this light color for the honey. Red. Okay. I'm going to color this pot the same way we did the other one. Light for the label. That's the one I had in my hand first. Dark for the rest of the pot. We'll add the glimmer to it after I get it on the card. I feel like it might take it just a tad bit more to dry. And that's see a spot I missed. No white spots, Mr. Pooh. All right. Eeyore is going to be hydrangea hue. Didn't they make that perfectly for him? This one's the dark, so let's do a little bit of the shadows. See, I did it again. And light. And where's my real red? I see it. Oh, let's use the brush tip because we can color faster. Because my friends have been watching a long time and I'm sure they've got other things to do. This will dry a different color, I promise. It always scares me when it does that because the light, for some reason, comes out more purpley than the other one, but when it dries, it is the beautiful hydrangea hue color. And I love coloring with the blender pens because it does not leave lines in it like our markers did or coloring pencils unless I use a blender brush or blender pen on those. I get lines. I get lines with color crayons, Crayola. But these blender pens, no lines. This ear a little darker. That one especially. These little legs. You're cute. His bow is pink. All right, let's go with a strawberry slush. Dark strawberry slush. All right, now our dies. Here's Eeyore. And here's Pooh. And if I trim this, we can do them both at the same time. Okay. Baby machine. Cutting plates. Just line those up right there. This is a whole lot faster than fussy cutting. But if you don't have one of these machines, fussy cutting is easy too. And then I just kind of push it up underneath there a little bit. It gives me a little bit of leverage. Push it in until it catches, sandwich it down tight, and that holds them in place. If you're afraid it won't, grab a Post-it note or Post-it tape, and that will hold them in place too. And I have pushed my green and my glass mat around a couple of times. Magnet. That one slid a little bit, but it's okay. All right, let's put our card together. Let's tie a bow. Where to put the blue? Hydrangea here. Are you under some of this stuff? Here. Tie a bow around this. I always leave my ribbon attached to the spool. Oh my, I could not do that again if I tried, y'all. Make it go this way. And slide it down. You just put it where on the card, on whatever you're wrapping it around first, and then you can manipulate it, sliding it however you want. Let's put it kind of in the middle. Adhesive. Still on our desk. Hang on. Oh, we need to stamp on this. This is already out. Old friends are the best friends. We're going to stamp that in hydrangea hue. Okay, you got all inked up right at the top. When you are stamping, don't push down hard because it will distort the letters. And don't rock your block. Just straight down, straight up. Good, so we don't put our hands in it. This could have been a golden glow or this will be fine. Put this like under there flat. Don't you just love it when I don't have a plan and we just make it up as we go? And then let's put Foo and Eeyore dimensionals. Fine for him. Support his head and his feet and his tummy. A little pop of color. And then let's put a dot right here, up here. How about that? And then, of course, put your piece of paper on the inside. We want another honey pot? Sure. Oh goodness. My I've got these up there in the storage like all of my other ink pads are in, but I'm finding that if they stick out a little bit, like they're in their sleeve this way, they're flat this way. Store ink pads like this, but because they're magnetic, they're catching each other and tilting a little bit. So I'm making sure that when I put them in, I don't let them touch. All right, and then not that that teeny tiny bit of tilt will bother, but let's not take any chances. All right, so here is hydrangea hue, Eeyore and Pooh. Here's Mr. Piglet knocking on a door. Let's move some of this stuff because it's distracting. And here is Misty Moonlight Hydrangea Hue and another piece of the Designer Series paper. There are our cards from tonight. Thank you so much for watching. And we embossed both of those, but you can definitely see it on the brown or the early espresso. Up close, you can see it on the hydrangea hue. And those do look like honey. Oh, we forgot to put honey sparkly on there. Those also fit in where the markers used to go in our storage. All right, I think you can kind of tell my favorite colors are blue tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you for, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Have a good night. Enjoy your week. Do something fun for yourself, and I'll see you again